Mark Sims people just asked me what's going on in my man. Well, like I was explaining to them earlier, this is a work day. Like you see the way I'm dressed. It's a work day because yesterday in my involvement, in my attachment to the people and being out among the people, with so many people hurting and there's so many things that people have to deal with these days that it takes a lot of prayer, it takes a lot of my time, and it just takes a lot of my energy in dealing with the people. But as a minister, I mean, that's what it said in the book of Leviticus, right? We the ones who take care of the people's spiritual needs. That's why they didn't work, and the people back in Israel took care of the Levitical tribe, the ministers and the priests. What sometimes irked me because, you know, offerings, love offerings, tithing, people don't want to do, man. They just want to take care of me, Reverend Bobby, and that's what it's about. Sometimes I need things, people to perform services for me so I could keep the ministry going, and they look at me like I'm crazy for asking them to do and help me. But yet Reverend Bobby's supposed to have the answer for everybody's life. So sometimes it gets difficult, but let me tell you this, I'm never going to let you down. I'm never going to walk away. I'm always going to be there for you. But one of the interesting things that I had an opportunity to experience yesterday was I went down to the Harold Washington Cultural Center, and they were running a film on Before They Die, which was about the Tulsa, the Greenwood community in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was called back in the day Black Wall Street. And the race riot that took place in 1921, where the whites came in and pretty much burned it to the ground because of the wealth and the prosperity of the black people that the white people at the time didn't happen to be experiencing. Now, it kind of set some things loose in me. I've always had a hard time. Well, I only watched from Memphis to Montgomery one time, and that's when I was in college at Morehouse, and that had to be 1971, 1972, because it disturbed me to the depths of my being. And watching this movie yesterday, Before They Die, which is trying to get reparations for the people and the families that are descendants of the people that lost everything, burned out, and everything stolen and ripped off from the race riot in 1921. Man, it sure brought some emotions up in Reverend Bobby, but thankfully, you know, I'm a little bit older and more mature, so it didn't react to me in the violent retribution kind of way that it did in the 70s when I watched from Montgomery to Memphis. But all that to say, you know, it's a lot of stuff these days, I think, that's up before us so we could heal. In this society, not only among the blacks and the whites, but everybody that's a part of this melting pot society. And I think that, you know, spiritually we have to build each other up, lift each other up, whether white, black, whatever, because when I was living in St. Petersburg, the white and the black community knew that they had to move forward and they had to do it together, but they didn't know how to do it because of all the animosity and all the, you know, suppressed feelings about the historical things of oppression and that kind of stuff that had going on, but knew that they had to do it, knew they had to move forward or everybody was going to perish. So, you know, I think that these days in the economic conditions and the way that the world is, whoever we are, whatever feelings we have toward one another, you know, we're going to have to come to some kind of understanding that this world is here for all of us to live in. I was disturbed recently hearing a Christian minister talk about the rebuilding of the temple, and people get this thing so, you know, in the physical realm, when Israel's going to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem after Islam is destroyed. Here's a Christian minister talking about the destruction of Islam, destroying, you know, Islam. And I'm like, so people like that actually want me to say that I'm a Christian and these are the things that are coming out of their mouth? And, you know, everybody is so confused and everybody is so bent out of shape, and everybody is, this is the way I do it and the whole world should do it the same way I do it. Well, you know, from my understanding, God would have made us all the same kind of way if that was his plan and that was, you know, the way to do it. I think that there's a lot of diversity here so that we can learn from one another, so that we could drop the boundaries and move beyond the little boxes that we place ourselves in, and learn to accept one another. Tolerate is a word that I hate. I'll never say tolerate because there's no love and acceptance in that word. But we have to learn to accept one another and love one another. So, from Reverend Bobby to you, listen, listen, listen. Open up yourself to the love, to the divine love that you created in and out of. Allow yourself to use your talents and your skills, because that's the only thing that's going to get us anywhere these days. You can't depend on anything else. The jobs are going, the economy is going, the government's not going to take care of your health care. You better start thinking about keeping yourself healthy instead of be going somewhere trying to get yourself fixed up after you get all messed up. So you got to keep your mind straight, you got to keep your heart straight, and listen, listen, listen. Let that which is spirit lead you and guide you along the way. From Reverend Bobby to you, I love you. Hey, I bless you. And I'm going to get back to work because I got a lot of prayer work to do for the hurting peoples out here.